Is business with Saudi Arabia inevitable? Is it a necessary evil?
Well, I don't think it's either necessary or an evil. I think it's something you choose to do. And I think you would be wise to choose to do it. I heard your initial questions, and I would say that I would answer all of those in a couple of sentences, which is to say that all countries have both interests and values. Perhaps not all countries, but certainly Western countries, certainly the United States and Britain have both interests and values. And you cannot pursue one completely to the exclusion of the other. If you abandon your values, then what are you trying to protect? But if you abandon your interests, how will you protect your values? So diplomacy is really about finding a way to balance your interests and your values. The United States and Britain have very significant strategic interests in Saudi Arabia, not only in the predictable and affordable supply of oil to the global economy, which we still depend upon despite efforts to transition away from it. Also, the voice of the Saudis in the world of Islam, where for the last at least 20 years they've been preaching a very moderate form of Islam, and then they have a strategic position in helping to resolve things like the Arab-Israeli dispute. So we have very definite interests. Now, we also have values which we would like to see them accept and promote. And I think here, and if your listeners come away with one message tonight, it is that Saudi Arabia is now changing more rapidly. I was the chief of mission there for several years, but I had many positions in Saudi Arabia. I ran the economic section, the political section, the commercial section, all at different points in my career, which over about 15 years I spent in Saudi Arabia altogether. And I would say it's changed more in the last 5 years than it had in the previous 30. And the part that is most interesting to Western observers are the social changes, particularly as relate to women. Most people know that women now drive in Saudi Arabia, but they may not know that movie theaters, which were illegal, are now open, that women and men can sit in restaurants together without being married, that music can now be played in restaurants. And I think most importantly, the religious police have been taken off the street, and the guardianship rules for women have been greatly reduced, almost eliminated. And these are rules that a woman used to have her husband's permission to travel, to get a passport, to go to university, to open a bank account, to have a cesarean delivery. All these things required your husband's or your father, if you weren't married, his permission. That's all fading away. So I think, to be quick, when you look at what's happening in Afghanistan, a country where Britain and the United States spent billions of dollars and thousands of lives, and where things are actually going backward, where women are being put out of school, where they're being put back into their conservative dress. And look at Saudi Arabia, where all those things are going in the opposite direction, and we didn't spend any money, really. In fact, they spent money in our country and created a lot of jobs for people in Britain and the United States. So I think that you have to, as I say, you've got to balance your interests and your values. And right now, Saudi Arabia is moving in the right direction towards the values that we would like them to see. So we should encourage that.